Hey you're watching a clip from the DynamiteGizmo Podcast. This is not the full episode, but if you want to see the full episode, make sure to click the link in the description. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Do it now. Here's the clip. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a stacked fight night on our hands, okay? Sometimes the main number of events aren't just... Sorry, can we restart that sentence? I don't fucking like the way you said that. Sometimes main number events are not stacked. And when it comes to fight nights, more often than not, they're not stacked. And I've touched on this before, but here we go again. You gotta remember, there are over 500 fighters on the entire UFC roster spread across all divisions. We can't expect every single fight card to be completely fully loaded with big bad names. It kind of drives me crazy, dude, when people constantly complain because the lineup isn't exactly what they want. Like, come on, bro. Even if the card doesn't look stacked on paper, sometimes those are the ones that end up surprising you and delivering a crazy night of fights. And yeah, sometimes they don't, but that's just how it goes, dude. And at the end of the day, fighters gotta fight. Whether they're top-ranked contenders or brand-new debuting prospects, everyone has to have their shot on the card. That's just what has to happen. And honestly, I think fans have gotten a little spoiled. The UFC has been putting on so many insane matchups throughout the years that people forgot what fight cards looked like 10 to 15 years ago. You know, back then, we had stacked cards all the time, but that's because there was a very limited amount of fighters and a very limited amount of fights that happened throughout the year. So now we expect fireworks every single weekend, and if it doesn't look like a blockbuster, people lose their goddamn minds. But then, every once in a while, we get an absolute bangarang of a card, dude. And not just with the numbered events, I'm talking fight nights too. And specifically, I want to narrow it down to the UFC Fight Night on October 18th in Vancouver, British Columbia. My country, Canada. The last time we had a UFC card here was back in May for UFC 315 in Montreal. When JDM beat Bilal for the title, you remember this? You remember this card. That card looked bland as hell on paper. Everyone was shitting on that card. I was even shitting on that card. But it turned out to be one of those examples I was just talking about. It turned out to be a great fucking event that completely delivered. And that's the beauty of it. Surprises happen all the fucking time, dude. You never really know when a card is going to turn into something special. And now we've got another fantastic card to look forward to. And it's in Canada again. RDR versus Anthony Hernandez, Chito Vera versus Eamon Zahabi, Kevin Holland versus Mike Mallet, Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jazdavicius, or Davicius, Vagicius. What? Like, come on, dude. Very sick lineup for a fight night. And that's only the fights we have so far. Who knows what else is going to be on it? And I don't know why I was thinking this, but for some reason I thought Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista was supposed to be on this, but now I'm seeing nothing about that. Where did I see that? But anyway, I've never actually been to a UFC event in person, and at this point in my life, I'm so locked into the sport that I'm itching to finally go. And this does feel like a perfect opportunity. It's in Canada. It's pretty stacked. There's no title on the line, but who knows if we'll have this good of a card in Canada again. Usually when the UFC comes here, the cards are not that stacked. It's pretty rare. So this is kind of like a can't-miss opportunity, but I don't fucking know if I want to go to Vancouver because it's so goddamn expensive. And Canada has at one point in history had a strong... They've had a strong history in the UFC. Specifically with GSP. He put Canada on the map and carried that flag for fucking years, my guy. And really, since then, we've kind of been waiting for that next wave of fighters from Canada to step up. And now we've got names like Mike Mallet, Jasmine Jazdavicius, Eamon Zahabi, even Marc-Andre Barrio. He's kind of making waves a bit. These people are becoming staples. And it feels like Canadian MMA is finally getting its shine again. There's also that red-haired girl. What's her name? Can't remember. Plus, the thing is, like, fight nights are the backbone of the UFC. These are the cards where contenders get built, prospects make names for themselves, and divisions get shaken up. Not every fight night needs a belt, and sometimes these are the most important stepping stones in the sport, whether it's exciting or not. And this card has a ton of implications. Okay? Specifically, the winner of RDR versus Hernandez could be staring right at a title shot after that. Same thing with Imavov versus Baralho, which is on the Paris card. That could be a breakout fight to decide who's next in line. Either one of those. And Dana confirmed it as well when he made the announcement. And if Mike Mallet beats Kevin Holland, suddenly he's right there in the welterweight top 15. More than likely. And if Cheeto Vera... And I mean, Cheeto Vera's coming back after his fight with Figgy last year. It's been a while since we've seen that boy. We need to have him back. He was booked to fight a few times, but had to cancel twice. Now he's back. This card is the one that might finally push me to go to an event live. Because again, most in Canada are not stacked. But I still don't know if I want to go yet. It's expensive. Anyway. But let's just look at Kevin Holland for a second. Dude's wild, all right? He's on another insane run in the UFC. Remember back in 2020 when he set the record for the most UFC fights in a calendar year with 5 fights? And now, after he fights Mike Mallet in October, he'll match that record. And the crazy part is, according to him, he wants to push it farther and go for 6 fights in a single year. Nobody has ever done that before. But Kevin Holland wants to do it. And at this point, it almost doesn't matter if he wins every fight or not. It's just impressive that he's this active. And you look at the guys he's fought over his career, his resume is pretty fucking wild. He might not be a dominator of the sport, but he's the most active guy in any division. But that's his thing. Fight as much as possible, stack the money, and get the fuck out. Derek had that mentality too, but now he's winning fights. And the way the heavyweight division is now, he might end up accidentally fighting for the title. And the last stacked fight night card that we had was very recently with the Lidze versus Hernandez. And that just happened, when was it? A couple weekends ago? And before that, it was Whitaker versus RDR in Abu Dhabi. Now RDR's back at it again. This man is skyrocketing to the top. Even though he is performing well and really dominating in the middleweight division right now in a very short amount of time, I think this is one of those situations where as long as Khamzat is at the top, I don't think RDR will get the belt. I think he has the best chance out of anyone in the middleweight division, but I don't know if RDR has what it takes. But it's not guaranteed that he's going to fight for the title right away, because we still have whatever's happening between Imavov and Baralho. Those are the two fights that are going to determine who fights Khamzat next. Whoever's the most exciting win, Khamzat's next in 2026. So out of all those 4 opponents, who do you think has the best shot of beating Khamzat, if any? And if it's not any of these guys, who does get the job done? What do you guys think? Sean Strickland? Do you think Sean Strickland can beat Kamzat? He says he can. He says he's the only guy who can out-wrestle Cumshot. I don't believe it, dude.